Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Mirade.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders Current Events, where we break down the results, the news, the views from the March 19th, 2021 edition of WWE SmackDown, emanating from the award-winning Thunderdome in Tampa, Florida, home of the nearly sold-out Raymond James Stadium, where WrestleMania 37 will take place over 2 nights next month. It is starting to feel a little bit like spring here at MWF Studios, downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champion 02176, mid-50s. We'll take it. We'll take it over some of the Arctic temperatures we had this weekend. The snow is pretty much melted. You know, there's a few snow banks where they pile it up, but nice day out, light jacket. It's beginning to feel a lot like WrestleMania because I had on a free WrestleMania coat that WWE was kind enough to give me several years back. So again, spring is here, baseball is coming, WrestleMania is coming. But before we get to SmackDown, fans, we got some big news for a big event that is finally coming to fruition 19 months after the original date. And I'm going to say, knock on wood, because God only knows what can happen in this crazy world between now and then. But Boston Wrestling MWF's Back to the 80s WrestleFest will be taking place in our home just 2 blocks away from here at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts, Saturday, November the 13th. And to make our 80s reunion even cooler, even bigger than that, our in-ring live wrestling event is going to be part of our 20th anniversary celebration. Can you believe that? Our first event took place all the way back in the fall of 2001. 20 years of this craziness. Much more information in the months and weeks ahead, but save the date, fans. Saturday, November the 13th. It's going to be the main event that's going to be part of a weekend of festivities. But, folks, you don't have to wait until November for superstar interaction. You don't even have to be in Boston for it, because WrestleMania week, we're headed south to Tampa. We've rented a house in the Sunshine State, and we're lining up some outstanding guests that are going to be taking part in Wrestling Insiders tapings, special live episodes, and cyber autograph signings. We're in discussions with over a dozen superstars right now. We have 2 that have officially confirmed. Neither one of them have ever appeared on our talk shows before. I'm really looking forward to it again. Hopefully I'm going to have announcements and news this coming week, because I have to print an awful lot of 8x10s to bring with me to Florida. See the fun that I get that goes along with this gig. Dear Lord. Fans that watch and support our programs, you are our team. You're the home team, baby. You will help us grow this channel and bring you more great memories and legends. Again, you can help by simply giving us a big thumbs up on this video, simply subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's free. If you click the little notification bell, you'll be alerted to all of the new shows. And most important, share the links to these shows. Share them with wrestling fans and friends. Share them on Facebook, on Twitter. Share them with wrestling websites, with Facebook wrestling groups, on Reddit. Anywhere, everywhere where the millions of wrestling fans that don't know we exist might be. If they love the 80s and 90s, the Vegas odds state, they're probably going to love our 4 weekly studio shoot interviews and other great content that we provide 7 days a week, 365 days per year. The nightlife may be dead, folks, even as Jackie the Joke Man's Boston St. Patrick's Day rampage continues with the green Easter egg dye. But our eBay store, fans, it is open for business 24/7. Great new items being added. We've got some great new T-shirts, new Royal Rumble autograph posters. Help the cause. Click on the eBay store link in the description box below. And if you don't just want to be part of the team, if you don't just want to be one of our great friends, if you want to be part of the Boston Wrestling MWF family, to get the inside scoops, to get early, ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, to our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, as seen by millions online, and millions more on The Howard Stern Show, for Patreon exclusive content, including a watch-along video with Marty Jannetty coming April 1st, and the knowledge that you, yes you, are directly helping wrestling legends you grew up watching stay working during the worst of times. Head on over to patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. For less than an overpriced coffee at Starbucks, you will bleed Boston Wrestling and get more content and enjoyment than you could possibly imagine. With that said, folks, I am now joined by a man that told the dentist his cavity-free mouth had a sweet tooth for chocolate, Mr. Dave Carter. All right, Dave, another big SmackDown. We by the time this program is tonight, we'll be in Raymond James Stadium 3 weeks from now. Are you getting pumped? Are you getting excited?
Oh, my God. You don't even know how excited I am. You know me. You know I love the wrestling. You know I love going. So for me, I am beyond pumped.
Well, and for the fans that can't get enough of us, that maybe enjoy a little bit more of the live action as opposed to the podcast-style reviews, don't forget tomorrow night, 7 p.m., we're going to have the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view watch-along where you can join us, chat along, super chat along, share your thoughts on the big show. I know coronavirus has killed a lot of pay-per-view wrestling parties, although I really don't think there were many pay-per-view wrestling parties over the past 20 years or so outside of WrestleMania or maybe the Royal Rumble. But we'll have some fun here at MWF Studios. The link is already open. I will put it in the description box below if you'd like to set a reminder. But now I pass the baton to you, Dave. Let's take a look at what went on last night from the award-winning Thunderdome.
Yes, so we had a pretty good show of WWE SmackDown. We'll go over it. Well, we kicked it off with Sasha and Bianca backstage arguing about their match and about Reginald. Bianca said she's not going to be out there to help her. Sasha says, I didn't ask you to. So there was a segment, and then we kicked it off with the match. Do you want to go over that little segment before the match?
I just say, it opened with something interesting, and this week they didn't open with something interesting.
There you go.
It was different
then
than
we got-
Roman, I guess, so you could give them credit for at least doing something a little different. As much as I
Well,
enjoy
my
Roman's
thought
promos, they tend to
Well,
be in the same spot every week.
My thought was you were going to be like, yes, I'm glad they did, because usually you're like, just to get it out of the way and it's over with the women. So that's why I thought you were going to say that.
No, I typically like the shows to open good.
Oh, well, there you go. But this was, all right. It was a WWE Women's Championship match. Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax with Shayna. Love Sasha, but the kicks that she was doing in the corner during this match were very weak looking.
Yeah.
She needs to step those up for sure. I thought they looked awful. Nia was dominating until Bianca's music hit. Bianca encouraged Sasha outside the ring. Shayna ends up mistakenly kicking Nia, and Sasha ended up getting the win by pinfall after the kick from Shayna to Nia. So, I don't know if they're trying to cause a little breakup here, a little disconnect. Reginald's going to get involved. I don't know. But it was something. We'll see what happens. The match it is what it was. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was fine, or whatever you want to call it. What did you think of it?
There's been worse, again, but it's something I have zero interest in. There was logic behind it, and the result made sense where they headed into the pay-per-view on Sunday for the tag team titles. I can only hope maybe to eliminate a garbage match from WrestleMania that no one really wants to see, that Sasha and Bianca win the titles at Fastlane, and then we don't have to have the tag team title match at WrestleMania. So, I'm thinking positive.
Or what if they do this? Night 1, they defend the titles. Night 2, they do the match.
Ugh.
You didn't think of that,
No,
did
I
you?
don't want. I changed my mind then. I changed my mind.
I thought of that last night only because I know you. That's why. But all right. So from there, we get an Edge interview. Some of the best moments. Some of the best moments happened on SmackDown. It's surreal being back on SmackDown. He feels Daniel Bryan needs a fair shake for his match, and he can give him that if he becomes the special enforcer of the match. Quick little side promo. I liked it. I thought it was quick. I generally like a lot of the promos that Edge does because they're very, right to the point. They're not long-winded. They're pretty good. What did you think?
Well, I thought the whole show they did a good job building up Edge's return to SmackDown. I think Michael Cole didn't need to say that it was Edge's first appearance on SmackDown for the first time in 10 years, 8,212 times over the course of 2 hours. I thought he overdid it just a little bit. I think people got the point after the first 6,712 times that Michael Cole said it was Edge's first appearance on SmackDown in 10 years. But, it was Edge's first appearance on SmackDown in 10 years.
Right.
But they did the video packages they put together, I thought, were very good. And they did a good job in making it seem important.
Right on. From there, we get Seth Rollins, music hit. He heads down to the ring in a nice suit, I put. It was a commercial. Then we come back. Right before they come back, they have the flashback from 19 years ago when Hulk and Edge won the tag team titles from Billy and Chuck. And I was there for that. Were you there for that?
Right there in Boston, baby.
What did
that
you
was
say?
the night. So it was right here in Boston, baby.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was there for that. I didn't know if you were there. I didn't know you then.
Interesting tidbit. I don't even know if you know this, but if you remember, they had a great main event that night with Kurt Angle and The Undertaker for the world title. But there was a fuck-up that I don't think you'd really have noticed with the naked eye if you were there live. After the match, and I've never gone back to the network to rewatch it, but this was back when I used to record the shows every week. After everybody left the arena, they sent out Angle, Undertaker, and they filled just one small section with employees to make it look like there was a crowd to try and redo just this split-second little spot that was part of the finish. So there's a little history from that. I believe the episode actually aired on July 4th, 2002.
I see. I don't remember. Yeah, I do remember. I remember the match you're saying, the main event, but I don't remember that. Wow.
They may have the event may have been, if I remember right, July 2nd, but it aired on July 4th back when it was pre-taped.
And I remember they handed everybody American flags. Remember as you enter in the building? Yeah.
So
I remember all that too.
That's an interesting notable. The finish that you saw on television was not the finish that was taped before the fans. It was taped. They whatever it was, when they went back and looked at it, I don't know if it had something, because Undertaker and Angle, they like to try and incorporate those MMA finishes sometimes. There was something about I don't remember if it was a shoulder was down, but they had to redo just literally a split second. And once the building emptied with fans, they get all the employees to sit in one small section for one camera shot to retape one minute moment of the match with Undertaker and Angle that night.
Well, I'm glad because that was the only flashback I did, because I knew I was at, and I almost guaranteed you were probably at it. But I'm glad I did that one, because now everybody got a little bit of
history.
Insight. Yeah, that's nice. That was good. From there, we move on. Nia backstage says Shayna ruined her.
You didn't mention anything about the promo.
What promo?
Seth in his slick, brand new suit.
Yeah, but that happens after this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they went to the commercial break.
Come on, man.
I
take
hate that
these
they
notes
do that.
I know. I take these notes perfectly.
Meticulous notes.
Yes, I do. If you've seen. Nia backstage says Shayna ruined her chance to win the title, and she wants to know what Shayna's going to do about it. Shayna says she's going to get a match against Bianca tonight and kick her head off. Quick, little, simple thing, whatever. At least they're building to something. I mean, I can give them that, whatever,
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Nothing?
Not much. I was anxious to see Seth in his fancy new threads yet again this week. He certainly upgraded from the 1970s quality A Christmas Story green plaid suit that he had this week, and was very stylish on SmackDown.
Yes, sir. Now we get what happened with Seth. Seth in the ring. People respect him, he said. One person that did disrespect him was Cesaro. He I can't even say the word. Humiliated me, embarrassed me. He's jealous of me. Cesaro is a failure. Seth says he is a fighter. Ex Cesaro, if he has a I've just lost my notes. Sorry.
You lost your notes. I mean, what are you outside in a windstorm or something?
I'm outside, because I wanted to get this done, so I'm outside, and somebody just said something. I looked up for a second. I'm sorry, I lost my spot for a second. Right. Sorry, guys. Seth says he is a fighter. Ask Cesaro if he has a good time standing up for himself or a hard time reaching for the brass ring. You basically have tried 22 times and you still haven't reached it. You will never do it again. You're the biggest waste of potential in WWE history. Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits. He heads right to the ring. He rips Mike from Seth and tells him to shut up, in his funny voice.
Yeah.
They go at it, but Seth escapes the ring before they can really do any damage to each other. Then he jumps back in, and Nakamura gets the better of Seth, leaving him laying in the ring. So we're obviously building something. At least they're not going to do it at Fastlane, which is good. So it's going to build to, I'm guessing, WrestleMania. What do you think?
No, it is at Fastlane.
Oh, that match is?
Yeah.
When did they announce that?
At some point last night. I'm 99.99999% sure it's Rollins and Nakamura Sunday.
When did they do it? Because
I know I saw the graphic. Maybe they announced it on Twitter. I don't know. And I scrolled across it at that point.
I didn't see anything before that, because my thing was too is why wouldn't they be? But it made sense because he hasn't really talked about Nakamura at all. He's been talking about Cesaro. That's why I didn't even think they were doing the match. So if they are, then maybe it's from that. Maybe that's when you've seen it.
Maybe it was on social media, but I think it makes for an potentially interesting match. Nakamura, to me, can either be kind of hit or miss. Sometimes he's on, he's excellent, then there's other times it's just a snooze fest to me. Rollins, as much as I hate his promo, as much as I hate his forced, uninteresting, boring gimmick, usually his matches are at least interesting and pretty good. So I think potentially you have a good match at Fastlane.
Absolutely. Now that they're doing it, I'm excited for that too, because I think it'll be a good match. So from there, we get the Street Profits heading down to the ring. We have Ziggler and Rude at the commentary table. We end up getting Street Profits versus Dominic and Rey Mysterio. It was a fine match. We've seen it a million times, though, in all different ways you can. Dominic ends up pinning by pinfall. Otis and Gable come down to the ring. Gable on the mic says, that victory doesn't put you ahead of us for the titles, meaning the tag team titles, obviously. Dominic and Ray attack Gable and Otis, and we go to commercial. Obviously, you know where that was going from there. I knew right away we were going to come back with a match.
Some tremendous conflict with those 3 tag teams they have in the division, I tell you.
You were saying during our NXT review, why isn't like a team like Breezango up here just to change it up a little bit?
Freshen it up,
You
yeah.
know? Yeah, I mean, we've seen every version of this duo, matches and everything for the last 2 months, I think. But Gable and Otis versus Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Profits and Ziggler and Rude on commentary now. I put same match we've seen a million times. Otis aggressive again, which I do like that. Just keep on slamming Ray. Love the suplex that Gable does. I think that's great when he gets him, from the back and just does it slow but gets him over. I think it's really nice looking. Monster Frog Splash by Otis. He gets the win by pinfall. Quick match, what it was. Like I said, we've seen it, so there's not much to talk about it other than, a few highlights in it for me.
Yeah. Well, to me, it almost felt like we were watching AEW Dynamite. It was kind of an overbooked couple of segments right there. Alpha Academy, if you tuned in last night, isn't bad, but again, they're trying to overcome a couple of years of Gable being used as Shorty G. And now Otis, he's so boring to me at this point. I can't even find the enjoyment in my heart that I used to have of doing my Otis imitation. They've even taken that from me.
Yeah, and they're trying to change him, and it's...
Now he's the modern-day Leon White.
Yeah, good example. Perfect. From there, we have Daniel Bryan heads down to the ring, hypes up the Edge and J Uso match, which kind of was weird, but he did. If J Uso wins, we know what's going to happen. Obviously, it'll cost him the match, he says. Edge will do whatever he wants to get his match against Roman Reigns at Mania because he knows that he can't beat me. DB says he's going to make Roman tap out. Roman's music hits, and he comes out with Paul Heyman. Roman laughs and says, You're going to make me tap out? You're lying. You're lying to everybody. You can't tap me out. You don't have a chance. You have a better chance of shooting lightning out your ass, he says. I kind of like that. That was kind of funny to me. Rather lose his arm than tap out. He also said he'd rather die in the ring. And DB was like, wow, you'd rather die? That's pretty
serious
strong.
Business. You'd rather die in the ring.
Yep. DB says, you're delusional. Well, Daniel Bryan, sorry. When I say DB, I just cut it down. Daniel Bryan says you're delusional. I'm not going to just make you quit. I'm going to break you. I am beating you at Fastlane for the Universal Championship. I actually liked the promo because it wasn't too long. It got to the point. It told a little story. It's good. And anything with Roman Reigns lately has been gold, so I like it a lot as well.
I think Roman saved this one. For Daniel Bryan, for all of his skill inside the ring, the promo work is not one of his strong suits. It almost feels like it's just the same words with just different people in different ears over and over and over again. But again, Roman and his work has been superb since his return last summer. So it's an interesting main event. I actually look forward to seeing the match on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely. From there, I loved this. I don't know how you liked it. I thought they did the promo of Corbin and Zayn, the match nobody wants to see and nobody knew was going to happen. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. I really liked that they made fun of themselves for making the match. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool. It was different because now we always talk crap that nobody cares. They actually listened and put it that way. What did you think of that?
I thought it was a complete and utter embarrassment to remind people that they're presenting them something that no one wants to see and that no one takes any interest in. I mean, you talk about just the blind leading the blind. Why would you say to people, we're going to give you something that you don't want to see and that is going to suck likely? When most people would have had that thought in their mind when they saw the match coming up. It wouldn't have been the direction I would have taken it in.
Well, that's the thing is I was kind of shocked they did it, but then I laughed at it because I thought it was kind of funny because it's true because we say it every week. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody cares. But so we got the match, Sami Zayn versus King Corbin, Kevin Owens on commentary. I put it was a fine match. We've seen it a million times. It was a quick match though. Corbin pinned Zayn when Zayn was going for the turnbuckle. At the end, Zayn comes just complaining about the ref to Kevin Owens, kept on saying, did you see that? Did you see it? Zayn's freaking out, and then all of a sudden kicks KO out of nowhere. I thought that was awesome. I love that. I thought that was great because it looked good. It looked good on the camera, and I kind of expected something to happen there, but I didn't know, and I like it because if that's going to build to a good match, because then two have history together, I think it'll be fun.
No, I don't think there's anything fun or interesting about it. They fucking have gone to the well with these two too many times. Nobody cares. Neither one of them looks like an athlete or a professional wrestler. Owens, far better of the two. I hate the Sami Zayn character. I hate the Sami Zayn look. I hate Sami Zayn's documentary. You look at talent like Aleister Black, Andrade, Ricochet, Humberto Carrillo, Bo Dallas, Angel Garza, that they either have nothing for or they don't use, and they're wasting time on this fucking dog shit. I certainly hope they're not going to waste a WrestleMania match on Owens and Sami Zayn again, is all I have to say about that. I was completely uninterested in everything that I saw. I did not like it.
Oh, they're 100% going WrestleMania with this. But from there, we have Apollo and Big E interview via satellite. Well, we thought it was because they both were split screen. But Big E says it's over. There's no reconciliation. All I want to talk about is vengeance. You have 2 days to appreciate the crisp air. Your near future is dark. Apollo comes back with, think twice to speaking to the Nigerian prince. You fill your mouth with, what was it? Razors. You split blood. Sorry, I couldn't read my writing there for a second. I kind of like that. You fill your mouth with razors. You split blood. Thought that was kind of cool. I'm gonna crack your face. Gonna see the Nigerian warrior in him. He will be the new Intercontinental Champion. Big E says there's no waiting till Sunday. Rips off the mic and drives a golf cart around through the arena. Big E finds him, and they start exchanging blows. Big E just starts throwing Apollo into everything that's there, anything, walls and everything. Finally, the officials come and break it apart. Apollo hops in the golf cart and drives away. I honestly wish they didn't touch because I think it would have meant more for the match this Sunday, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I did like everything, but I wish they didn't touch. I wish he just didn't find him or something.
Well, if you'd never watched the WWE television show before last night, it wasn't a bad little segment, but, you have to overcome, the past 6 years of Big E throwing fucking pancakes into the crowd and all of his comedy routine. Now he's badass Big E. I guess you're supposed to forget about that. And then you want to talk about history with Apollo, whose push I was enjoying. They've just completely recreated this guy's history. Now he's a prince or whatever he's supposed to be. And they present him as a fucking idiot with this accent that he never had until now. So it's like Halloween. I mean, it's absurd to me.
And then Big E has like a different voice now too. He's like all like
much more serious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like biblical. It's like he's reading the friggin' Bible or something. I don't know.
The only pancakes he's going to have are for breakfast, I guess, from now on.
Yes, sir. From there, we have Bianca heading to the ring. They go to commercial. We come back, and it's Bianca versus Shayna Baszler, with Nia Jax. Sasha comes out before the match. Then, all of a sudden, she just says, "You've got this. I'm going to head back." Shayna's beating on Bianca. Nia heads up the ramp, too. She's sick of it looking at it. She just walks away. Natty and Tamina come through the crowd, attack Shayna. It ends in DQ. Natty then goes after Bianca with Tamina, stop beating on her. Natty and Tamina left standing in the ring. I guess it's building to something, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of great chemistry between Natalya and Tamina. Really, I mean, just another complete and utter waste of time that no one had any interest in, but they said, we got to fill it with something, so let's send out Bianca and Herman again.
Right, and that's the thing is there's no different in any of these matches, and the same thing happened last week, happened the week before. I don't even know what to write for these. I'm literally just saying what happens, and then I'm like dumbfounded on what happened. I don't know what to say. But there we get Edge heading down to the ring, goes to commercial. We get the main event, which is Edge versus J Uso. Back and forth match. There was welts on Edge's ribs. I like that he was selling it. Edge looked pretty good in this match from not wrestling for a while. I love J Uso. We've established that he's a great singles. I pointed this out. Coleman with the vintage Edge I couldn't take anymore. He does that too much. Vintage
Everything
Edge.
is vintage, yeah.
Yeah.
Including his lousy commentary.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Edge wins with the spear. Roman comes out of nowhere and hits Edge with the spear. Daniel Bryan gets the spear as well. It ends like that. So, you get 3 spears.
It's like watching the movie 300. There were just spears everywhere.
Right on. And then at the end, you got Roman standing on top over Daniel Bryan, looking at him with the title. Match was good. Ending was all right. I mean, this is probably the best thing of the night was this. What did you think?
No, I mean, it was a great show-long build of Edge's history on SmackDown,
Right.
as I noticed. I thought the match was great. I would have rather have seen them saved it for the pay-per-view instead of wasting it on this dog shit of a TV show to build up Edge for WrestleMania, give him a big win on pay-per-view against Roman's cousin. Then maybe if they wanted to go the route they're going on the pay-per-view, you could do a Roman and Bryan rematch on television with the Enforcer stipulation. On paper, I mean, Fastlane is about as irrelevant and uninteresting as it gets. I have little interest in seeing the guest enforcer at ringside. I'd rather have seen a good title match and save the shenanigans. Again, I just would have executed it differently. I would have included the same players, but it was just a horrible TV show saved by a really good main event. A good effort from Edge and Uso, and the head of the table stood tall in the end as he gets ready to defend the championship gold or whatever it is, championship, whatever's on that leather, Sunday night at Fastlane.
Right on. I graded this. I went half middle way. I went 5 out of 10. I thought, like I said, there was a few good things, a lot of just wash away stuff that we'll never remember again after watching it. To me, the main thing to get over here was what they did need to get over, which was the Edge and Edge being the special enforcer, and you have the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match for this Sunday at Fastlane. So I like that. The girls stuff, it is what it is. You're gonna always get it. So I'm sick of just judging SmackDown on that, because what are we gonna do? Every single week, it's going to be about that until they figure something else out. I like the Kevin Owens thing and Sami Zayn. I know you didn't, so I went a 5 out of 10.
Well, the funny thing is, I like the main event so much, I graded the show higher than you. I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I thought the main event was superb.
How about you?
I hated almost virtually everything else on the rest of the show. I just was either bored with, or I thought sucked, or I would have done different.
So that's what you did. You went 6 out of 10 because of that.
Well, sometimes if you end on a good note, it can save a bad show. And I thought the main event was really good, and it saved a bad show. Again, I would have liked to have, I think it really would have enhanced Fastlane for them to have had Edge and Uso on that show, as opposed to having one of them as a guest enforcer outside of the ring. One man's opinion. They didn't call and ask for it, but I share it here on Wrestling Insider's Current Events nonetheless.
Right on. There you go. I was just looking it up. You were right. They did announce Nakamura and Seth Rollins, but it was after SmackDown was over, because I'm looking it up now. I tweet you were talking about. That's why I didn't see that. So I'm glad that I didn't say you were wrong. So that is, I had no news. There was nothing else from what we discussed from Wednesday to Friday. Absolutely nothing other than Andrade's comments about that he did ask for his release and everything, and he didn't get granted it. But other than that, there was nothing else.
Well, maybe after WrestleMania, they'll come up with a fresh coat of paint and do something interesting with Andrade, because to have him just sitting around doing nothing just shows how uncreative some people are in WWE. If they can't come up with something incredible to put on television with a world-class talent like him, and they can with Sami Zayn, and they can with Kevin Owens, and they can create this nonsense for Apollo Crews, and Herman Munster, and Nia Jax, and Reginald, and Bianca and Sasha 45 times a show, and just the same shit over and over and over again. Maybe someone that the fans might actually gravitate to if given a chance. Maybe they'll come up with something for him. Who knows? Right now, he's on the island of misfit toys.
I hope they do, too, because me and you were both talking about him, how we see a lot in him. So I really do hope they do as well.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens.
And when the WrestleMania, they're going to get the call-ups. Hopefully he doesn't friggin' get lost in that. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's another thing we have coming after WrestleMania is the not the draft anymore, but the call-ups.
That's right.
Who
You
can
know
they
we're gonna
call
get
up
some.
this year that they have no plan for other than the first week or two?
Well, I know you're very excited about this. I actually did see this too. Is Rhea Ripley will be debuting on Raw on Monday. I know that probably makes you very happy.
Unless they have something in store for her for WrestleMania, why waste it now? I don't know.
That's the thing. I wonder if she's going to be in a match since Charlotte's been off TV, if she's going to be doing something with her or something. I don't know.
Well, at least her and Asuka would be fresh if they went that route at WrestleMania.
That's what I'm thinking. We haven't seen anything with Charlotte for 2 weeks. She hasn't been on Raw, so maybe that's something there. I don't know.
Well,
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All I know is Fastlane's tomorrow night. I'm very excited to do the watch along
live.
I think
live.
Yeah,
live.
I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome. Good show, and I like that it starts at 7. Make sure you guys tune in at 7. Ask questions. It'll be fun. Super chat it up with us.
I'm sure our good friend Slick Rick will be there. Maria Davis, Tania, Vaughn, Don the Barber, all of the various Kevins that tune in. Our friend Ken. Who knows? It's the posse is growing so much. It's almost hard to remember everybody. I like that.
What about Jackie the Joke Man?
Jackie, well, I told you he ran into some problems with the Boston police on St. Patrick's Day. He was trying to go around painting women's breasts green with Easter egg dyes. So I don't know if he'll be out in time to direct. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see, yep. But that's all I got for you.
That's all we got. All right, folks. Well, we're about the halfway point through the hour right now. It gives you a chance to kick back, relax, get a beverage, a snack. At the top of the hour, 10 p.m., it is Wrestling Insiders Week in Review, where we realize it's tough to dedicate 4 nights per week to all of our great original in-studio shoots. So we bring you some late-night, one-stop shopping, almost like Saturday night's main event, minus the actual wrestling. We just bring you the memories and the legends themselves. This week, it's Tony Atlas's Ask Atlas, where Tony answers and gives life advice. The Native American Tatanka returns, talking early 90s WWF. Marty Jannetty's never-ending Party with Marty, his no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll look at the 80s and 90s continues as Marty shoots on, wondering if Macho Man Randy Savage lost the WWF World Championship too soon. He talks about the return of Superfly Jimmy Snuka to WWF after his tumultuous departure back in 1985 due to some of his drug problems and the death that plagued him throughout his life. Dino Bravo and much more. And then we wrap it up with John Cena Sr., very interesting episode this week. John shoots on his longtime close personal friend, The Big Show, jumping ship to AEW. And then Johnny and I compare talents that have competed in both WWE and AEW. Where have they fared better? Which companies? So a lot of great wrestling talk. It's more than 3.5 hours long. Hopefully I will be in the premiere to chat along with you. I got a lot of work to do because we have a lot to prepare for as we get ready to head to Tampa. The big Wrestle House, still negotiating with all kinds of great talents. As I noted in the opening of the show, 2 have already confirmed, and they've never been on Wrestling Insiders before. So some new faces headed your way. Just a lot of work on my plate the next 3 weeks. I do not anticipate a day off, but that's all right. That's why God created work ethic.
That's right.
That's why Socko's got the socks, and we got the shows, baby.
That's right, and that's why you bring all this great content to everybody in the NWF universe, that's for sure.
Well, I hate that terminology, but if that's what you want to call it.
Hey, it's the universe. Everybody's watching. Come on.
Those that watch these great shows, I consider them to be great friends because I know they're giving us a thumbs up. I know they're subscribing to the YouTube channel for free and clicking that little notification button so they always know when the new programs are coming their way. I know they're sharing the links across the internet, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, wrestling websites, Facebook wrestling groups. They want new fans to check out what we're doing because there's millions that have no idea that we exist, but once they find us, I know they're going to love us. I also know they're clicking the description box below to see all of the great new merchandise we have on eBay. We have some brand new WWE t-shirts that were added this week, an autographed Royal Rumble poster, and so much more. And more than anything, those that just don't want to be friends, that want to get a little closer, so to speak, that want to become part of the Boston Wrestling MWF family, they're heading on over to patreon.com/Boston Wrestling, where they get inside scoops before everyone else. They get the early ad-free access to the Wrestling Insider weekly talk shows. They have access to the acclaimed Studio Shoot interview DVD library that's been seen by millions online and millions more on Howard Stern. They're getting the Patreon exclusives, such as the watch-along we have with Marty Jannetty that premieres on April the 1st, and they take great solace in knowing that they're helping keep professional wrestling legends working because they're great people. They're part of the family. Damn it.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Dave, why don't we take a time out? When we come back at 10 p.m., we'll be joined by Tony, Tatanka, Marty, and Johnny. It's Wrestling Insiders Week in Review for Dave Carter. We will see you together tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for our Fastlane pay-per-view watch-along LIVE Live. The World Wrestling Federation was sold out at the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, Saturday, March the 20th, 1999. The opening contest, Too Much beat Gangrel and Edge. Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman with the win over Tiger Ali Singh. The Acolytes defeated DOA. WWF Hardcore Champion Billy Gunn retained the title over Hardcore Holly and Al Snow. The Godfather and Jackie beat D'Lo Brown and Ivory. WWF Intercontinental Champion Road Dogg retained the title over Goldust, Ken Shamrock, and Val Venus in an elimination match. The Undertaker defeated the Big Boss Man. WWF Tag Team Champions Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett retained over Triple H and X-Pac. And in the main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mankind beat WWF World Champion The Rock and Kane in a Texas Tornado match. If you were in Austin live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the link in the description box to keep wrestling legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed Studio Shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling.